Ecclesiastes 10:17 is a verse which often gets rendered in English as basically stating that a land is blessed when its king descends from nobles. In the Hebrew text, it refers to ben Chorim, which can be interpreted as meaning son of free men. The ancient Syriac translation of the Peshitta for that verse employs the structurally identical bar Hirim. The Septuagint version of the verse clearly understood the text that way, as it uses υἱὸς ἐλευθέρων, son of free men. And it is now that I want to mention the ancient Ge'ez translation, which renders that portion as well the Agɣazi, son of a free person. It's that second word that I want to focus on, Agɣazi. The primary meaning is free, a free person, but I want to discuss a secondary meaning, which might be inferred from its structure. You see, the root is Ga'aza, and this is the root from which we get the word Ge'ez, the name of the Ethiopic language. The verbal root means to be free, but there is a causative form, Agɣazi, which means to cause someone else to be free, to set them free, to liberate them, or to emancipate them. And then we get the word that's under discussion here, Agɣazi, which, as per its structure, is an active participle of that verb in the causative stem. It's the agent who performs the action of the verb. Now, as I alluded to a moment ago, the primary meaning of this word, Agɣazi, is one who is free. But if we just went based off of its structure and its relationship with that causative verb, it seems it could be plausibly argued that the word can also mean one who sets others free. And that brings a rather different, if admittedly secondary reading of the Ge'ez version of Ecclesiastes 10:17. Now it looks like it says, "Blessed is the land whose king descends from Agɣazi." It's not merely from free men, but rather from liberators, from those who emancipate others. And I shared those musings on Twitter or X, and I got this very interesting reply. A gentleman shared with me an excerpt from an Ethiopian writer who wrote in Amharic nearly a century ago, and who made basically the same observation. And that's huge for me, as I'm just sort of groping around as a novice, so it helps to receive corroboration from those who are far more familiar with the subject than me. And honestly, that's an example of why I love X. Of course, I realize that the relatively limited restrictions on speech there can result in the more contentious debates becoming rather toxic. But despite all that, in the midst of all that acrimony, there are also lots of gems, lots of great informative discussions, and that tweet is an example of that. And I'll close this off by showing one of the key lines from that Amharic text that the gentleman shared in his tweet. All right, God bless.